I think one thing that I find really offensive is this surface rights versus subsurface rights thing. I hadn't really realized all of the ramifications of that until I moved here. And I see people every day. Uh, their lives are just destroyed. The place they've lived for decades, in some cases more than a century. Suddenly, oil companies are just told you can uh, move in there, drill through all their aquifers and so on. All you have to do is swear that you won't contaminate them. Nobody's going to look. So just swear it. And, if their tap water catches fire or becomes unpalatable, well, that's probably just a natural coincidence and nobody will know that it isn't. So I'd really like to see some modification. I can't believe that the people who allowed those regulations to come in their wildest dreams, could have imagined how dense oil and gas wells were going to be on the Alberta landscape. So I think we need some limits there. It's not that we don't need the oil and gas. I think we need it at a lesser rate than we're trying to get it. There's no thought given to Canada energy security. We still have the eastern half of this country relying on what George Bush used to call unstable eastern states, while we push all of our product here into the U.S. If we could probably sustain Canada's energy needs and harvest oil and oil sands at a third the rate that we're doing. And that is my view of what we ought to be doing, not just flogging it for profit. The other thing that we ought to make us slow down is if you get to realize what you can use these petrochemicals for. And if you look around you, every second thing you touch is made of a valuable plastic. And that petrochemical material is way too valuable to be just blowing it out our tailpipes for no reason other than we want to ride in a big car by ourselves and not have to worry about the cost affecting us. We ought to be looking 2 or 3 generations ahead for things like that. I think those are two things that would affect land use right away. We're just getting to the point where politicians realize that you just can't tell everybody, yeah, we're a big province, go where you please, and if you're doing an oil well and this guy's raising cattle right next door and this guy's got a resort right next door to that, you'll all be happy. Suddenly, I think it's just in the last 10 years, they're beginning to realize, gee, maybe not everybody is going to be happy. Maybe we've filled the province up big as it is, and there's going to be some conflict. I actually have a friend who models these things, who was employed by the government to put all of these pieces together and make some recommendations. And he was fired after 2 years because he couldn't come up with a solution where every stakeholder could win everywhere in the province. It's just mind-boggling.